Welcome to the Dropouts Podcast. Today we're here with POD3.
Hey man, say man, it's your man's POD3. Move to the fold if you ain't know. Now you know. Most of y'all do by now though.
Talk to me nice, I'ma end your fucking life. I don't care about my exes, hope their bitches fucking die. I only go outside just to get a fucking fight. There is not a single fucking human that ain't right.
Alright, POD3, so you're from Connecticut. How long ago did you move from here? Well, from Connecticut to here.
We actually moved out here back in 2005 or 6. I just know I was 5 when we moved out here.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved out here in 2005. Yeah. No, my bad. 2004. If I was 5, so yeah.
Word. Have you been back since?
Yeah, I used to visit every summer until I was the age of, I think it was like 11. It just got too dangerous, and then I just switched over and wanted to do baseball. Like every year, like that was just one of the sports I played. So every summer they had the all-star team and shit. So I'd always deny them and decline them because I wanted to go back up north to see family and friends.
Yeah.
It was just like, you know what, I'm getting too old to keep going back and forth. And it was a lot of violence on top of that. So it was like, you know what, why not stay and play some baseball? Gave it a shot. And after that, I really didn't go back up unless it was dire needs.
Yeah, I didn't know you played baseball.
Yeah, that was actually like the first sport I ever played.
Alright.
All-star and all. But I stopped playing it.
How come?
Bro. Let's just say the school systems out here against us of skin tone where they didn't like that we played their sports that well.
Shit.
Yeah, I just said that much. And my middle school year, I got cut over some BS after getting like asked to come and try out, and then he cut me. Kept one kid of color on the team, and after that just opened my eyes up, and I was like, okay. So baseball is not it for me anymore.
Yeah. Shit, man. If you love it, you got to do it no matter what. You can't let somebody get in the way of it. But I definitely feel you. Like, you know, I mean, you know, I get it. You know, being a black dude, sometimes certain opportunities are harder for you to get than certain other people. Because I feel like a lot of the things that come to people is really based off of the connections, who you know. You know, sometimes you might be doing a way better job at a certain thing than someone else, but they're like, hey, I gotta look out for this person for whatever reason or whatever, you know what I mean? Exactly. But it takes people breaking that mold, people like breaking through. So now, you know, when the little homies coming up, maybe you could get them involved into the to the sports, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. And that's what, like, shoot, with our mutual friend V Nice, like, he done got me trying to go back into the batting cages because I seen him going into the batting cages. Like, just off of the strength of that made me want to start playing baseball again. But I'm not about to pick up no bat and run around no diamond no more. I got my photography, and that's all I need, to be honest.
Man, one of these days I'll pull up to the cages with you guys. But, you know, speaking of photography, what really got you like into it? How'd you start? You know, because like, first of all, I got to say, man, very nice with the camera. You know what you're doing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of people who can't necessarily appreciate a good picture. They look more at, like, they'll be like, oh, this person has a nice camera, whatever. You know, they get caught up in the equipment. But in terms of, like, you know, how you, like, compose your photos, you know, everything you do with them, you know, you do it very well. So, like, what got you into that to, like, have a passion for it, you know what I mean, more than like, let me buy a nice camera and snap some flicks? Because, you know, it happens to a lot of people, but very few people like stick with it and like see that through and use it as an art form.
I say I still think about this all the time because everybody, I can't say everybody, a lot of people ask me, like, when did I start doing photography, or when did I start taking photography serious? And I always ponder on it. And I was just actually thinking about it the other day. I was really serious about photography back in high school, probably even before then, when I was always around my dance family and going to the dance studio. and things like that. And back then, this is when Instagram and social media was really starting like to be on the come up and was on the brink of things. But like we weren't on Tumblr or anything. But when Instagram hit, yeah, everybody wanted the dope photos and the nice edits and things like that. So that's how I really started, was just seeing everybody else at the dance studio taking photos, or they wanted me to take their photos, and then they liked the way I did the edit on my phone. I mean, my photo, or I see it on their photo. I'm like, how'd you do that? And they just showed me, and then ended up downloading Visco. That was the very first editing software I ever downloaded.
Yeah, shout out Visco.
You feel me? Like, they done started up a whole bunch of photographers' careers. But downloaded Visco, and I got a couple of their presets, and then after that, it was just, I was snapping every day, whether it was, and it was 9 times 10 on my phone. I didn't get an actual DSLR till my sophomore year of high school, and then even at that, it wasn't one to where I could take the lens off or none of that. It was just a straight point and shoot.
Yeah.
So technically, with all that being said, I basically been serious about photography since like freshman year, possibly a little bit before then.
So it just kind of happened. You were dancing, being creative in one aspect, and then saw an opportunity to be creative in another.
Yeah, technically, yeah. To be honest,
You got any photographers that influence you or influence your work, and if so, in which ways?
Now, for a while, I wasn't that. I guess you could say that photographer that knows his history about who came before him and really did everything and who has done what. But just so recently, the past couple of months, I should say, been watching a photographer named Valandez. Shout out to him. That's that guy, for real.
I've heard you speak about him. He has vlogs and stuff as well, right?
Most definitely. Out there in Detroit, Michigan. That guy. Got to meet him one day. But he is one dude that I look up to big time when it comes to photography. And I guess I try to imitate, but not imitate in a way, like portray his work through my work in some way. If you get what I'm saying, as in what his work consists of, what he captures, what he it's hard to explain for me. It's just timeless. It's timeless work.
Yeah.
So Valandez is one of them. Willem Verbeek, he's another one. Just because he's a film photographer, and his work is just like, it astounds me. It's crazy work. Another guy, I actually met him, Braylon Dion. His work is out of this world as well. And I was working with him for about a week and a half. Didn't even know that it was him until he showed me his Instagram page, and was like, bro, this is you?
The guy you work with. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, this is you. I've been following you for like years, and like now I just met you, but I've been working with you for like a week and a half. Didn't even know. It's like 3 other photographers. No, it's 4. I'd have to say Peter McKinnon.
Oh, shout out Peter McKinnon,
Big
man.
time. Big time. He was like one of the main photographers, the very first photographer that I watched on YouTube to help me learn and better my craft. Then that's when I stumbled along to Hayden Peterson, and then his boys, Seventh Era and North Borders, Liam and what's his other name? I can't think of it right now. But those are their Instagram names. And those are their names on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I can't think of them. But yeah.
Big shout out to Peter McKinnon. I found Peter McKinnon through Casey Neistat.
Yeah, him too. Casey, he's like a YouTube OG.
Yeah, I fuck with Casey heavy.
Big time.
So what do you like want to do? Where you want to take your photography? Like, do you know what do you think is next for you, you know, as a ever evolving photographer? What do you like, you know, do you have studio? You want to shoot certain things? Like,
that's most definitely, like, that's always in mind. That is the #1 goal right now. As in, I'm always getting better and building my craft. I do want to own my own studio because I want to be able to have my own home to come home to when I do my work. You feel me? As like, I want to be able to travel and do work, but I want to be able to come back home to North Carolina, to Concord per se, and have a studio knowing that it's mine. I want to be able to still do like editorial work. That's really a goal. I want to be able to do editorial work, but in my own studio. So it's really just me working for me. Even though I'm working and doing these shoots for different companies, it's just me working for me, doing me. And that is the goal. That is the ever-ending goal.
Would you say you like the editorial part more than any other part of it? Like, or would you say that that's your favorite part of the photos, like the edits afterwards and creating that final product? Because I think, like, with me personally, like whenever I'm vlogging, it's like everything comes together in the edit. You know what I mean? That's how like everything gets finished or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's like I love the vlog, but it's like if you want it, like if someone was like, hey, let me just look at this, like, 20 minutes of like unedited footage, I'd be like, no.
That's dead.
You know what I mean?
And that's how I used to be. Like, people used to always ask when we do a photo shoot, hey, can I see the photos? Nah, you can't see the photos till they done. Like, so I understand that. I'd say for the longest, when I first started shooting, I'd say when it came to photos, I just like the candid moments. Like, I don't want nothing planned. I just want to be there in the moment.
Yeah, snapping flicks.
Yeah, it just so happened to be over the past like year or two. I'd say like probably like the past 2.5 years, I've been wanting to do editorial work and actually want to see my work in a magazine or in like a GQ, a Vanity Fair, something like that.
Yeah.
It could even be a High Times magazine, because for a while when I did start taking photos, I was taking a lot of photos of people smoking. That was like a goal I had in mind as well, just to see my photo in a magazine or see my work posted somewhere.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I feel that.
And it still is a goal, but hey, you just gotta keep going at it.
Yeah, I definitely think you're gonna get that without a doubt, man. Like, especially if you stay at it as you do. Most
definitely. It's just it's a ups and downs. Just with anything, you chasing a dream, you gonna a lot of self-doubt, self-pity, all that plays in it and takes its course. But you just gotta get over that.
Yeah, work through it. But that's the, I feel like that's like one of the biggest things about being an artist. Is like, and it's interesting because for the most part, like, with everything you do, you just have to do a good job and you can make something for it. And like, I feel like one important lesson to have is not to let what other people think about you bother you too much. But when you're an artist, your entire like existence is based off of like, what do you think about me? Literally. Like, how do you feel about like this stuff? And then and you could always compare yourself to these other people who like do the amazing work and stuff like that. But also, I feel like what always keeps me going is like the same thing that keeps me going in like, if I'm training or something, you know what I mean? Where like I'm running or I'm getting tired and it's like, man, I don't want to do this, but it's like, I know the other person, my quote unquote opponent, is probably doing the same thing and he doesn't want to do it either. But like, if I keep doing it, I'm gonna end up winning that match, you know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of like what keeps me going, is like when I'm like, damn, man, this artist shit is hard, and then I think about it, like, if I look at this as a sport, it's like, all right, everyone's tired, so you know what I mean? If you're fighting someone and you see them tired, it's like, all right, now it's time to pick it up, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's just, especially in a city like Charlotte, where there's so many creators around, so it's like, man, I just try to keep working. One thing that I've loved doing recently is especially with the company, with the Dropouts, is being able to make my own opportunities for things, you know what I mean? It's been a big help, because I didn't have to necessarily look for, like, for example, wanting to do shows with my friends, I didn't have to go look and try to get us on shows. It was like, we're just gonna start throwing our own and things like that, big time. But I mean, you could always do the same thing, and I'm always down to partner with that. If you ever want to do like a photo event, you know, it's like, hey, we're getting a bunch of people to come do this. I know if we did that, if we had like the next time we have a line, if we do like a casting call where like it's like, hey, come model this clothing, and then we'll have like, you know, that shit would be dope.
Cause you know it's crazy, like just the fact that you brought that up. The other day, I was like driving just on my regular deliveries, and I was thinking about, you know how people do their album release parties and people come just to listen to music, things like that, or they'll just throw a regular event and just people just to come and show and support. Feel me? I was just, like you said, thinking about doing a photo event and literally telling people to come. Hey, I'll be open from such and such time to so and so time, probably about like 4 hours max, just so people could come in. You'll get like 3, 4, or 5 photos of yourself, and they're gonna be free, of course. Not major edits, but it'll be a little bit of something, and just to show support. You feel me? Let people know I'm out here. Hey, this is what I do. Yeah. If you want some photos, you want to have a good time, enjoy yourself, and not have to deal with people asking you to undress and do uncomfortable ass shit. And just enjoy yourself. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. You feel me?
Yeah, I think that's another thing to like always keep in mind, because I feel like that's one thing. Some dudes get cameras and use it to be weirdos and shit like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And they've fucked up the photography game big time. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I just hate that.
Yeah. No, for sure, for sure,
big time.
But also with like the events and stuff, I think that's cool. I think one thing I see a lot with like, you know, just any sort of like artistry or whatever is like the attitude of fuck you pay me, of like for the service, which isn't bad because everyone needs to eat, but then like, you know, there always has to be like time where you spend money. For example, if you got a company, we spend some money on marketing, but like you doing free photo shoots is marketing, because especially if you're like one thing, the like how you have your watermark, the tag at the bottom. I think that's dope. You know, it's even on the cover art. You know, and it doesn't like take away from the photo. It's like a subtle thing, and especially if you're like giving photos away, I think that's a dope thing to do. Yesterday actually, we went to Charlotte, and I took a picture next to this trash can. And I mean, maybe this guy got paid to do it, but maybe he just did a really cool mural on a trash can and he put his at next to it. So it was like, you know, he did this thing and like so many other things came from it. Fact. So like, and the cool thing about that is you being like, hey, this is a exclusive thing. Like, you want to get like some free photos from me, like, and work with me, you can come here at this time. So now if it's all the people who've been thinking about working with you or whatever, been watching whatever, now they get to like do that. And now it's like, you want to work with me again? Now that's when you
exactly,
you know,
me, like, and that's why I was trying to do the free thing. At this point, you don't have any excuse not to come and get a photo or come and get some work done. Because there's been multiple times where I've tried to, like, I guess, interact with my followers on Instagram and people that I follow, as I'm posting on my story, hey, do this or do that, or answer a question and you'll get some free photos or a photo shoot. And some people interact, some don't. It's usually like close friends and things like that. But people that actually want to get that work done, they don't ever slide up on it. So it's different ways you can go about doing it. It's just getting it done.
I try, like, with me with that, like, what I try to do is like the people who show support, it's like, all right, bet, build with them, you know what I mean?
Fact.
Like, because sometimes it's like, dang, I want to work with this person because he has this or whatever, but then it's like, man, this person always fucks with me every time, like, I got something, this person fucks with me. It's like I've been just working more that way, you know what I mean? The same reason I always like fuck with my homies if they need something or whatever, because it's like, you like, and you realize, like, you know, not like on any sort of high horse thing, but you realize, like, when you start throwing your own shows, like, okay, now people are more keen to like wanting to come fuck with you, whatever. So, you know, so like as soon as you start getting more momentum, it's gonna be a given that those people are gonna come and fuck with you regardless. So it's like, you know, just feed the mouths that are always like there, like, hey, we want to do this, whatever, you know, because you find some consistency consistent models, then that's good for you. Because as long as consistency is key, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Like if you take photos of a person one time and they post those pictures one time, and then now they don't take any more photos, whatever, people don't really look for them for photographers. But like, you know, you find like a couple people who try to take photos on a regular basis and work with different people, then you just get into that rotation with them. Like, I feel like that's been like what's worked for me the best, is just finding the people who want to build and being like, all right, this is what I'm gonna put my energy in. It's kind of like when we do ads. Sometimes we could do ads across every state, or sometimes we could put $500 in like 5 states, or we could put $500 in one state and then just
blow.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like you could work with every model, or you could work with a couple models and then get those models good placements. And now it's like every model's trying to work with you. You know what I'm saying?
And in a sense, that's the way. I'm gonna just come out and say this. Like, I'm just not getting out of a slump. A photography slump, I guess you could say a creative slump, and just a life slump. So like, I'm just now starting to pick up the camera again and everything. But for the most part, I have been consistent with staying with like the same couple of models, just for the fact of I haven't found any more people to work with, and like you said, that wants to consistently shoot and consistently get things out there. So I want to say shout out to two of my models, Madman Mar. He was the very first one.
Shout out Mar. That's
know,
who connected us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my legacy. You feel me? She really leaving her legacy out here. So I gotta shout them two out, because if it wasn't for Madman Mar, we wouldn't have connected. And then on top of that, I probably wouldn't even be where I'm at right now with my photography. And if it wasn't for Maya, I wouldn't have got probably the last 3 or 5 photo shoots I done did out, because a lot of them were her ideas. Not gonna lie. For me, it takes a while to come up with a concept or for something to really pop off in my head, and it's like, okay, that's what's gonna catch somebody's eye. That's another reason why it takes me forever to post on Instagram and stay relevant. Like, I just like to take my time with it, and I can't do it at the speed society would like it to be done. Yeah,
man, that shit's hard. For what's worked for me is really just trying to find a team to help. Like, whatever Samaj Sinclair seems to be is very little of just my work. For example, like me having you help V Nice, my girlfriend, like, you know, like just getting help from wherever. So, you know, like you having Maya being someone who could help you with like making new concepts and stuff like that. Like, you know, that's always a good thing to have.
Even you, shit, knowing your crazy ass mind got something.
Hell yeah,
you could toss my way.
Yeah, man. I'm always down to work with things. Always down to shoot stuff. I got me and Brianna go out all the time.
Where you been at, man?
Man, I've literally recently been so like, I've been busy, but like, I could always make some time to do things, to shoot and stuff. I've just been trying to make sure I stay busy. If I don't have anything planned, I'm like, I have to get something. Yeah.
See, when them times come, I need something planned. Hey, Pootie, you trying to shoot?
Yeah, bro. Let me know if you say like you want to shoot. I'm gonna say just tell me when, and I'm gonna make my other plans around that. Cause like right now I'm just trying to train, fucking edit videos, make the content I need to make. But even you hit me up to shoot, it's like, all right, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Let's start a podcast where we can just talk about different topics, because I'll be having a lot of shit that actually I'll be wanting to speak on.
Hell yeah.
Like, especially politics, things that's going on during this day and age. Yeah.
Well, shit, man.
All of it.
Thank you for coming here today. Indeed. We'll definitely have you back. And, you know, right now, we're only doing, like, these 20-minute episodes, getting the ball rolling and stuff. But, you know, eventually we're trying to start pulling in, you know, the Joe Rogan hours and shit like that.
Hey, that's in due time.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for coming, man. Check out the links below if you want to see some of Pootie's work. We'll have his social medias there.
Indeed.
Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to be on the podcast, DM us, you know. We're always here to talk
about anything. Go ahead and follow your boy on the gram at ox.pod3. You feel me? It's your boy Pootie P from the 3. Move to the 4. If you ain't know, now you know.
Stay icy.
Stay blessed. And love all.
Peace. Thanks for watching today's podcast. If you liked today's episode, like, comment, and subscribe. The podcast will mainly be me speaking to my friends, but I also want to use this as a way to make new friends. And on this podcast, we're talking about everything. Art, music, sex work, politics, fucking food, drugs, everything under the sun. So if you want to be on the podcast, DM us at thedropout704 or DM me personally at Samad Sinclair. Hit that subscribe button. Come on, what you waiting for? Ha, nice. Appreciate it.
There's not a single fucking human that ain't right.